Gökalp will ask another.
This is almost same question, but is how can it be prevented? Do you think it's common, and how can it be prevented?
The fear of Islam in European
community or all over the world is also.
Mr. Matthew, could you get the question?
Yes. I didn't know it was geared toward me. I'd say it all starts with education. For me, I remember back in high school, and I was a very smart student and in a lot of the top classes, but I remember just getting into an argument with two even smarter students about Islam, and I had some very ignorant views, and they challenged me on all these views, and it resulted in them buying me the Complete Idiot's Guide to the World's Religion, which I still have on my shelf. And I didn't read it at the time because I was kind of incensed, that they insulted that they would buy that for me. But then after a while, I realized that maybe I didn't know everything, and I picked it up and I looked through it and realized that a lot of the things I had thought about Islam were completely backward and probably based on just some of the propaganda we've been discussing that filters through the media, and then also some views that my family had. I'm not going to disrespect them publicly on the air, but just having things that are passed around from different people that they think is true and it's just not. And I really think it starts with education. I would have liked to have had a course in high school or even before on comparative religions that was mandatory. I think they did offer a course, but it wasn't required. Very few students took it. It was an elective, and you really just to learn about Islam and the Prophet. And so even if it's just one course or of many that you take, just to really have some fundamental grounded knowledge of these issues. So when you hear a media report that's biased, or when you hear something your friend says at the bar, you can really say, well, wait a minute, I learned, this isn't true. I learned that Prophet Muhammad was actually a reformer in his day, not a reactionary. I learned, all kinds of things, the outlawing of the killing, the Prophet actually outlawed the killing of female children, and things that you don't hear about, things that are just not part of the discourse. And I think that's where it starts. And then I really would like to see some type of compulsory study abroad to the Islamic world for school children, or at least at the college level.
Yeah.
I totally agree, and it should be done by the proper hands. These courses should be established by the proper hands. And Jerry, I think like every show has a lot of things to do about the education. Do you?
Oh yeah, we that's the main key factor.
Yeah, exactly.
Because and we've talked about this a lot of times. Shows you guys know the one thing that really needs to happen is that we do need to have something in the classroom that is mandated, even if it has to be, that all types of religions are taught in the classroom. Yes. I'm not saying educated in the classroom. I'm saying taught in the classroom. Yeah. There's a difference, so that people, as they grow up and they mature and they gain knowledge, they have the ability themselves to know where to look and what to think. So they misspell a lot of these things that they hear. And just a little example of that, I have a couple of friends of mine that asked me at one point, they said, why did you, and they asked me, why did I convert to Muslim? I said, I didn't convert to Muslim. I didn't convert to Islam. I moved over to Islam. And they said, well, why did you do that? So I can give you one quick answer if you want a short one, or I can give you a long one. I said, but the short one is education. And I had a couple of friends of mine that actually I gave them a few books and had them do some reading, and they came back and they said, there's not a lot that I'm understanding yet, but I'm reading this. And they said, and one of the reasons that I am so intrigued to read this is because it's so opposite of what I've heard all my life.
Yeah, exactly.
So one thing about our media here, and and I don't like the term Islamophobia, but it does fit, unfortunately. But a lot of these people that I know are my personal friends and people that I talk to, when they do get into reading and actually studying for themselves and learning for themselves, one reason they don't want to stop is because they see so many untruths that they've been taught, and they see so many things that are actually from the Middle East and they start seeing this stuff, and they're like, I can't quit studying it because there's so much here that I'm learning that I was lied to about.
Yeah, exactly.
So one thing about the media and the Western culture is that if people keep studying, people keep learning, people keep listening, that this is going to backfire on the media in a really big way here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.